That was a really bad point when I had when it was really locked in, like the pain. For some reason, I could just feel this. Just like felt like cement.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's so tight in there, and it's that big toe belly band also that's coming up through here that's affecting that.
I mean, literally, it felt like cement.
Yeah. I'll just do whatever, just doing a bit of general work on the leg just to see whatever's going to come away nice and easy, and then I'll get into your toes.
Doesn't look like it's going to be an 80-degree day.
No, it's fucking cold, eh?
Thing in general, like you look outside, it's like
No,
looks like Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so variable, the weather around March and April here in St. Louis. It's kind of like one day you get 80 degrees, another day you get fucking 35,
Yeah, it's like
It's
schizophrenic.
Yeah.
I guess
I
the
mean, we
summer
had,
kind of hit like in what, mid-May or something, or June
Yeah.
or June.
by May,
May.
it's sort of like, it changes really rapidly from winter then to summers. Yeah, it should be.
It's kind of like how it is in
And then it gets
Oregon.
hot,
Oregon, it just goes straight to summer from
Yeah.
like kind of like that like kind of 50s kind of thing, like.
Yeah. But like, yeah, 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was up in the 80s for a few days, and we were just thinking, okay, summer's come, And then it drops down, and then it snowed, and then it fucking tornadoed, and then,
And it's gonna 30 tonight or something, right? Gonna get down to 30.
Yeah, oh yeah, 28, 30, yep. I'm still just learning to convert from centigrade to Fahrenheit, but my air conditioner's always, and heater's always set in Fahrenheit, so now I know, like, okay, 68, 7,
Yeah. 68, 70 is like what's 22?
Yeah, something like that.
21, 20.
Yeah, 21, 22. But always, I think zero just makes more sense to me about, like, where water freezes,
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how they came up with that 30, like
32, and like the boiling point of water. I still don't even know the boiling point of water is like 238 or something.
I mean, why the number 32?
Yeah, exactly.
What's that?
There's no significance, right?
Oh, yeah, what's the undergirding that? Some kind of numerology thing? 3 + 2 =
Who knows? But it's America's, I think, the only country, or maybe some other like a really obscure country that still uses they call it, I mean, they even call it the imperial system, and yet America had a revolution against the empire. The rest of the empire went, fuck it, except for England. England got halfway to converting to metric and then stopped. So they use both metric and fucking imperial.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's weird. Some things they'll like measure weights and stuff.
What does the Vedic system do? I wonder.
No idea. Yeah. But decimal to me makes more sense. It's kind of easy to multiply. Multiply by 10, all you do is add a 0 on the end of something.
That's pretty good that you like got that big toe, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was jammed.
Right after, because when you were last night when you were pulling it, it felt like it was like pulling my whole foot. There was no disconnect between it's just like a one.
That's right.
Mass.
Yeah. And that's why doing the head and doing the belly gets you into a nice state, and you just start to let go, and you're breathing out, and your mind is relaxing, and
Yeah, it does your head. It does put you in a different kind of like wave.
Yeah.
Like you're in a different kind of like, what do they call it? Theta waves, or like the different. Like,
I study them and then I forget them. Alpha, beta, delta, theta, and and I'm like, which one's the fucking one where your mind is going quickly and thinking about things, and that's the one we want to get out of. The one where it's like I call it the washing machine of the mind.
Oh yeah, the kind of the turbulence.
Yeah, and you're just thinking. And we got to get people into kind of just being and breathing and tuning in with their breath and letting go and just kind of going deep inside their consciousness. Like a lot of people end up they go into a semi-sleep state, and old memories start popping up, even from childhood, or which might be reasons, like emotional issues that were buried and never resolved, and they start resolving them in a deeper state, and that gets rid of the tension as well.
Not when you're doing the feet with the tools, though, right?
No, most people are just fucking carrying on. I guess they're still hurting them, yeah. But no, I've had.
They're not in a deep, relaxed state.
Oh, some people go into the deepest relaxed state because
really,
when the energy starts to shift,
really?
they go into this other world. I've had a couple, 2 instances where people stopped breathing. The first time it happened, I was in the class in England. I was like, oh shit, I was worried she was going to die, but she'd gone into like a samadhi kind of state.
Really, from the feet,
from just working.
Working in general.
In general, but most, you know. And then another time in Poland, I was working on a friend of mine. And he went into another state, and his wife came in, and she's like, he's not breathing, and she kind of woke him up and got him. He's like, what the fuck? Why'd you do that? I was in the most, blissful state I've ever been in. You know, because you got different levels of you know, like people talk about samadhi and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And people can go into those levels when they let go of their tension and they go back into it, because you're going back into like a primal state, in a primal state of the soul.
Yeah.
Away from all the kind of material worries and manifestations of shit, you know. So yeah, it's interesting to see that, you know. All right, so I think I'm going to start to do some work on your toes. But again, I don't actually want you coming out of. See, I want you in this kind of state. That's why I'm only going to take you up to. I only want to take you up to between a 7 and 9.9, where you're still able to deep breathe.
Okay.
And relax, and you're going to go, yeah, okay, he's taking me up there, but he's not going to push me over. And you can get over that fear that I'm going to do that, so that you can relax.
Okay.
So I want to work in a rhythmical fashion. I want to find out where I can work, at what level of intensity, without you coming out of this nice, relaxed state, you know?
So it's like kind of like
awareness. It's kind of like, okay, I'm bringing you awareness, but it shouldn't be like a jolting kind of thing where you're like, ooh, and what's he gonna? I don't want you going into that. What's he gonna do? Because I don't.
Right, because then it's like kind of you're preparing.
Right, and you're tightening up.
Yeah.
So that's counterproductive to the whole treatment. So.
Okay.
So you don't, and don't worry, I'm pretty good at tuning in, so you don't need to. But you know, it's different. Like I used to work more where I'd push people and they'd tighten up, you know, and I just found that was counterproductive. But doing all this first, it's kind of like giving you an anesthetic in one sense before I work on you by getting your whole.
Because it is releasing like what endorphins.
Endorphins and things. But the other thing, from an energetic point of view, I'm opening up, opening up your head and opening up your belly so that this has somewhere to go now. The head and the belly allows this trapped energy in your foot to actually go somewhere.
Okay, so now you're saying there's a pathway.
Yes, I've opened up the channel of release.
So now it could shift.
It should shift easier.
Because that's like the thing that you did. Remember that thing? It's probably 20. It was probably 2006 when I had that experience when you did like probably about 15 sessions on me, and I had that Coke bottle release kind of thing where I felt like you adjusted my neck, and I felt like the energy went out the top of my head, and I got all like horripilation, like goosebumps, and I was like, and it was just like that, and that kind of pressure never came back. Even right now with my body just in a mess, I never felt that kind of like just pressure cooker kind of feel, but I guess that's what you're describing, right? It can go out. It would go out your head.
Yeah. It actually so what I'm going to do now is it should come out your breath.
Oh, my breath. Okay.
Yeah. So not like just energetically out your crown chakra or anything. Although that can happen because there's actually, like obviously when we're born, we have the 3 bones of our skull aren't properly joined, and we've got like what are they called? What's that called? The
Sushumna.
Yeah, well, the Sushumna, the crown chakra is there at the top, but even like up to 15 months, kids have the
the
fontanelle, like like the font. I forgot.
What is that soft spot? I don't forget what it's called.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, like so, and that's where you know, when I was talking with, my father passed away and I was talking with the people there at the hospice, they actually were talking about watching when people died, how they can leave through different orifices, and some people can leave through their crown chakra. I don't know if you, in your experience of what, you know, in the hospice.
Can I raise this knee? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever's comfortable.
Okay.
All right, because you can see your toe, your big toe here is being pulled to the side here. It's actually touching that toe. So I'm going to try and straighten that and just loosen the whole thing because it's all kind of tight. So I'm using, this is a recent tool I've been using. It's a very precise one. It's more precise even than ones I've previously used. So there's a spot right here, and this actually relates in reflexology to the crown chakra. And I use this spot a lot as a kind of the end of the line. I don't know if you can feel that at all.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable for sure.
So just going to keep it at that pressure and let you breathe into it.
That's probably the limit right there.
Okay. I'll ease off slightly. How's that?
Okay.
I also use Japanese style chopsticks as well. Slightly different feelings, it's not metal, but it's still pretty intense. Oh. This is the band I was talking about that's going to actually go up into post the groin, that where you were experiencing the tightness and stuff, so I'm not surprised that this is quite tight. Again, I can ease off if that's more than a 10 for you. Or I can just hold that and let you breathe into that. A lot of work with chopsticks is very much dependent upon what we were talking about earlier with empathy and ability to tune into chi, because if you can't tune into chi, chopsticks can be quite overwhelming for some people. People can go too hard or too soft.